Hello all, myself Sushmita, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Agriculture Science, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. In this video, I am going to deliver the lecture from the course Pest of Field Crops and Starter Produce and Their Management. Topic: Pest of Oil Seeds and Management. Pest of oil seeds and their management. So, what are all the oil seeds crop which is coming under this group? So here the mustard, sunflower, safflower, groundnut, castor. So these are all the some major oil producing crop which is categorizing under this oil seeds. So what are all the pests that is causing damage to this oil producing crops? First and foremost important oil seed crop it is mustard. So in this the important first major pest is mustard aphid. Mustard aphid, so it is one of a sucking pest that is causing a damage to this crop. So here both and at both adult and nymph, it will just suck the sap from the parts of a plant. Mostly it will be present under surface of a leaves, mainly in young leaf or in a tender twigs. These population will be very more. And then the next important pest is sawfly. Sawfly, so here the larvae of a sawfly which will feed on the leaves, that too in a early instar it will just nibble the leaf. As a result there is a slight curling in leaves will be there. So curling symptom is one of a early initial symptom that we can identify sawfly emergence is there in our mustard field. Next pest it is pea leaf miner. Chromatomia horticola. Here these pea leaf miner, the maggot stage, it will just make a small puncture on the leaf and they will enter into the epidermis of the leaf part, and it will just enter into the epidermis and they will keep on feeding the green matter, and because of that the irregular linear mines will be seen, just a whitish line can be seen in the leaves. So this is a symptoms caused by this and the damage caused by this pea leaf miner. Once it become as an adult it will come out and again their life cycle will be continued, and maggots will keep on feeding and makes this whitish line. And next pest it is painted bug. Painted bug it is a Bagrada cruciferanum. It is a normal hemipteran pest where it will suck the juice or the suck the sap from the plant parts, mainly from the leaf area. And if the population of the painted bug is more means it will affect the plant growth. Because of the growth is it is stopped means their economic yield will be got reduced at the end of the cultivation time. So these four are the important major pest of the pest. And next we are going to see the minor pest of mustard. So minor pest, why it is minor pest means because of their development and crop is very less, maybe in some time based on the seasonal change or based upon their genetic variation their population may increase, but most of the time it is acting as a minor pest only. So in this the first one is cabbage butterfly versus Baxicay. So here the caterpillar alone feed on the leaf and they will make the leaf a small feeding habit or feeding symptoms can be seen, and the young shoot and green parts and all we can see the small holes. So this is a damage caused by the caterpillar of cabbage butterfly. Next one is diamond back moth Plutella xylostella. So here these pests, here the larvae feed on the leaf. As a result, we can see the bore holes on the leaves and the green pods too. Next one is a sucking pest, green peach aphid, Mysis persicae. So here both nymph and adult they will suck the sap from the plant parts. It is after it suck the sap, their plant will be having some kind of a change in their growth. Yellowing symptoms can be seen, and the inflorescence is highly damaged because of this green pitch aphid. Next one is flea beetle. Flea beetle it will feed on the leaves and pods, so it is just a beetle where as they grow they will feed on the leaves and pods. So how to manage this pest of which is pest of mustard? So we can go with the IPM practice, integrated pest management practice, from the starting to the ending to reduce this population from our field. Starting from the cultural practice. So here the summer plowing to destroy the pupae and the eggs, and we can maintain the field clean. Clean cultivation is an important practice, and early sowing in mustard should be done before October. 28th of October can reduce the incidence of a pest, and intercropping the mustard with the linseed, fenugreek, grams, weeds, potato can reduce the pest population. And also simultaneously we can go with the NPK. So recommended dosage of fertilizer is 60, 60, 40, 60 N, 60 potash and 40 phosphorus is recommended. And use of mustard aphid tolerant variety like JM1 or K9501. So these two are the variety which is specifically for the aphid tolerant in mustard. And we can grow some resistant variety like RTM 730, TBM 2008, RTM 314, TBM 2007, RTM 2002, and T27 PC 517, Fusasprint, Kren JM 927. So these are all the tolerant resistant variety for reducing the mustard pest. Next, we can apply the irrigation in seedling stage. It is very crucial for soft management. So by this method, we can reduce their pest population. And quick threshing of harvested crop should be done, and burn the remains of mustard crop so that it won't move to the next. It won't come to the next season of a crop. The stage of an insect, they do not reach the next year crop. And the bugs which is present in mustard, it will usually congregate the leaf and stem, which can be jerked by dislodged them by killing it by using of a kerosinized water. And harvest the crop at a golden stage of mustard itself. You should not keep more than a golden stage. And remove of alternate host plant from surrounding of field is highly beneficial in mustard plant. Next one is mechanical practice. Collection and distraction of a larvae of sawfly in morning and evening hours. Use of bitter gourd seed oil emulsion as an anti-feed property, and set up yellow sticky trap to monitor the aphid population. Installing the pheromone trap at that is recommended of 5 traps per hectare to monitor the moth activity. Collection and distraction of a larvae at a gregarious stage at least twice a week. And collect and destroy the gregarious form of larvae in 5% kerosinized water. So this is especially for a cabbage butterfly. Next, coming to the biological control, to conserve the following natural enemies like ladybird beetle. So, ladybird beetle, they are very good enemies of mustard aphid and all. Coccinella, septum punctata, sex maculata, and then Chilionemus. So, these three species of a ladybird, it is to be conserved as a natural enemy to eliminate the pest from our field. Next one is adult beetle maybe feed on average of a 10 to 15 adult per insect. That is a ladybird beetle. And some other species like a syrpids, uh, and then metasurface, xanthogramma species and syrpus species. So these syrpid species are also acting as a biocontrol agent for mustard pest. Next, like this, a green lacewing Chrysoperla cornea, it is highly predaceous to mustard aphid colony. And a parasitoid, a braconid parasitoid, it is a very active biocontrol agent which is causing a mummification of a aphid. And like that, entomophagous fungi like a cephalosporium apidicola and entomothora cornata verticillium lacani. So these three entomophagous fungi are highly recommended for mustard. And some other uh, parasitoid like Costia plutogera. So this is the important parasitoid for controlling of diamondback moth. So these parasitoid can't be cultured, but it can be conserved in our field. So at last, it is a chemical control. Spray the crop with the infestation on at least a 10% plant population. It can be counted like 26 to 28 aphid per plant by observation. And the economic threshold level. ETL. is recommended for different states should be followed as per the norms. And spray the crop with a quinolpos 25 EC at 625 ml in 500 to 600 liter of water per hectare. So this is sprayed once in October and again in March and April. And spray the crop with any one of the following insecticide at the flowering stage: oxydemeton methyl, it is a 25 EC, or dimethoate 30 EC. And pest wise for aphid, chlorpyrifos 20 EC 200 ml, so it should be mixed in 200 to 400 liter of water. Dimethoate 30 EC, 264 ml in 20 to it should be mixed in 200 to 400 liter of water. Next, as like aphid in painted bug, dichlorovos and imidacloroprid. Dichlorovos 76 EC, 250.8 ml should be mixed in 200 to 400 liter of water per acre. And imidacloprid 70% WS, 700 gram per 100 kg of seeds. And next one is mustard saflite, dimethoate 30% EC at 264 ml in 200 to 400 liter of water per acre. And quinolpos the same, 480 ml in 200 to 400 liter of water per hectare. And imidacloprid 70% WS at 700 gram should be mixed with 100 kg of seed. As a seed treatment, it is recommended. So these are all the pests of mustard and their management. So the next, it is pest of groundnut. So groundnut, it is also a one of a oil seed, where here the groundnut is having like mustard, it is also having some important insect pest. So here the first one is a leaf feeder. So leaf feeder, it is also can be called as a defoliator. So majorly the caterpillars will be coming under this. The first important, it is groundnut leaf miner. Groundnut leaf miner, here the larval stage, it will larvae after hatching, it will mine into the leaf and it will produce a whitish blotch. It will mine into the leaf and will present on the epidermis. It will produce a white blotch. Later stage, the larvae will webbed together the leaf, and it will present inside the leaf itself. It will keep on feeding and pupate inside the leaf itself. So this is a damage caused by this groundnut leaf miner. Once it become an adult, it will come out from the leaf web. Next one is red hairy caterpillar. Red hairy caterpillar, here it is a very voracious feeder when it is in a larval time. So the larvae, it is a voracious feeder and act as a defoliators too. So if it's having a more population, means it will just feed on the leaf, stems, twigs, on all part of the plant. It is completely defoliate the plant. Next, it is brown hairy caterpillar. Brown hairy caterpillar, again the same. The larvae, it will feed voraciously on leaf and defoliate the plant. And the larvae feed and it will be pupate in the plant or in the soil, and it will become a adult. Next one is Bihar hair caterpillar. The same in groundnut. The same, it will feed on the leaf voraciously, and sometimes it will defoliate the plant too. Next one is tobacco caterpillar, Spodoptera litura. The larvae will defoliate the plants. So this is about the sucking pest and defoliator. Next it is sucking pest. Next it is jacids. So important pest of groundnut, Epomasca kerri. So jacids, it is can be also known as a leaf hoppers. So here both adult and nymph, it will suck the sap from the young leaf, that too from the undersurface of a leaf. Normally jacid is a very small insects, which can be identified only through the microscope. Next, it is aphid, Aphid craxivora. The aphid, normally we know it is a sucking pest which is causing both damage by the adult and the nymph. It will suck the cell sap from the tender part of the plant. Next, it is about thrips, Frankinella species or Frankinella zookeesi and Thrips pasmi. Scriptotherpes dorsalis. So these three are the pests of a groundnut thrips. So here it is also a small pest. Mostly these thrips will be present in the flowers. So in the flowers or inside the petals it will be present. So here it will just lacerate and feed on the leaf surface. Just take a small amount of a leaf or a plant sap. Next one is root feeders and pod feeders. So root feeders and pod feeders of a groundnut. It first one is termite, Odontotermus obesis. So here the termite it is a normal pest, but normal insect, but when it come as a pest, it is causing a major damage. So it will feed on the pod, which is leading to the invasionation of soil fungi, which result in rotting of pods. And next one is root grub, Holotricha serrata. So here the old grubs which will devour entirely the taproot systems and affect the plant without root and rootlets. So if it grow more in the root surface means that too, if it is a well grown grub means it will completely uh, damage the taproot system, and it will not leave any part of the root and rootlets. So if the plant don't have any root means, if the function of root is affected means the plant will immediately die. Next one is pot bug. Pot bug, Elasmolomus species. Here, both adult and nymph which suck the sap from the pot, both in field and storage area. IPM in groundnut. So here the cultural control, the timely sowing of crops, the variety which are densely hairy and with a stiffy leaf which interfere the pest population, and also we can go with the tolerant varieties. So and deep summer plowing is also very helpful. After the kharif crop or kharif season, the field should be plowed to expose the pupae to predatory birds, and intercropping or intercrop one row of a castor for every 5 to 6 row of a groundnut, and crop rotation with the sorghum, pearl millet or maize should be followed. Irrigate once to avoid prolonged mid-season drought to prevent the pre-harvest infestation. Planting of cowpea or soya bean as a trap crop. And next in cultural control, use a resistant and tolerant variety, and also always use well decomposed organic matter because it will attract the adult beetle of a root feeders, and partially or completed looping of a host plant, and retaining a few most preferred host trees in the area of a congregation of a white grub adder. And next one is crop rotation with the sorghum, pearl millet or maize, and collection and destruction of white grape adult from the host tree. It is highly recommended for reducing the crop damage from the root feeders, and digging the termite and distraction of queen in most important in termite management. Harvest the groundnut as soon as they are matured, and early removal of produced from the field will reduce the chance of termite damage to the pods. And intercropping the groundnut with a Penistium glacium, which enhance the parasitide like a Goniosa species on leaf miner. So it is highly recommended. Next one is mechanical control of groundnut pest. Hand picking of insect stage, that too mainly in larval stage. It will be small and grouped in larval stage. At the time we can easily pick and destroy them. Uprooting and destroying the infected plant for root feeders. Install 1 to 2 light traps per hectare for monitoring, and erection of light traps so that after the monsoon for 20 to 45 days, and collecting the killing of adult moths are very effective by eliminating the egg laying time. Collection and distraction of egg moths in field around light trap area. Install 10 to 12 bird perch per hectare. Install pheromone trap at 5 per hectare for mouse trapping. Mulching with rice straw, causing reduction in leaf miner incidence and increase in percentage parasitism. collect the infected leaf and dip them in kerosinized water, or we can use the insecticide treat solution or two. Next one is biological control method. So apply neem seed kernel extract 5% for controlling the sucking pest. Augment the release of a kilo known as Sesmaculata species. So here these biocontrol agent, it is very effective for controlling the aphids, and conserve the bioagent like a flower buds, that means like a flower bud bugs, and then ladybird beetle, that is coccinellets, praying mantis, hoverflies, green lacewing, longhorn grasshopper, and spider. So these are all some of a general insect as a predator which controlling the mustard pest, sorry, groundnut pest. Conserve bioagent like a praying mantis, longhorn grasshopper, dragonfly, spider, green muscardine fungus, and spray NPV, nucleopolyhedroviruses, and Bacillus thuringiensis, and release of a Brecon inhibitor at 5,000 per hectare, two times and 7 to 10 days interval can be used, can be released. Intercropping with the PGNP, mung bean, and soya bean will provide increase in population of spider. Release of a Trichoderma carolinensis at 5,000 numbers per hectare. So it can be released twice at 7 to 10 days interval. So like that, release of a Telonomus ramus at 5,000 per hectare. So four times 7 to 10 days interval based upon the pheromone trap catching, we can release it. Use of a nuclear polyhedroviruses at 250 larval equivalent. So BT, as like a BT, like a NPV, BT can be used 1 kg per hectare, and release of a background hepato the same, and spray of a insect pathogenic fungi, pneumonia or lei. Here this is a pathogenous fungus. It is a 10 to the power of 13 spore per hectare can be released. Release of a larval parasitoid Aphantus africanus at 5,000 per hectare. So these are all the management of groundnut pest. Next, insect pest of sunflower. So pest of sunflower, first it is leaf feeder, Bihar hairy caterpillar. So here the larvae feed voraciously on leaf, that is the caterpillar will feed. And next is just tobacco caterpillar, Spodoptera letura. So it is a normal pest where their population is very high in sunflower. So here the larvae feed voraciously on leaf and defoliate the plant. And next it is green semi-looper. So here the green semi-looper, the larvae will feed on the leaves of sunflower. Next, sunflower-headed caterpillar, Helicoverba armigera. Here the same, the larvae will bore the head of the plant. So normally, if it is affected any part of the plant, means we can tolerate by go with some kind of practices. But here in sunflower, the head is one of the important economic part. If the head is got damaged, means it is highly variant and a yield can be seen. So these are all the insect pests of a sunflower. Parrot, it is a non-insect pest where it is causing damage to the sunflower plant by cut the head of the sunflower plant. So next one it is sucking pest. Again the same white aphid, Aphis helianthe. It is a pest, a particular aphid of a sunflower. And next it is nymph and adults suck the cell sap. Leaf miner. So next sucking pest maggot which feed inside the leaf. White fly, Pemisia tabasi. The nymph and adults suck the cell sap. Coming to the IPM practice in sunflower, it will control measures of leaf feeder and insect pest. The cultural practice avoid growing the varieties which is having the compact inflorescence. So if it's having a compact inflorescence means their population can easily attack and the yield can be highly reducible. And mechanical practice collection and distraction of attacked shoot and head, hand picking of older leaf during the early stage and destroy it, Biological control. A number of hymenopteran parasitoid attack the pest during the various stages of their life cycle. Egg parasitoid Trichoderma australica, and the larval parasite are aphantis species, microbialitis species. So here this is recommended as a parasite. Chemical control. In IPM, the chemical control should be taken if it is very necessary. So here at the time, initiate the chemical spray at the time of flowering primary stage or in the spike stage. So we can go with the spray of methyl parathion 50 EC at 1 ml per liter of water, or dust with the methyl parathion 2% 2% 10 kg per hectare, or quinalpas 2 ml per liter of water, dimethoate 2 ml of should be mixed with a liter of water. Or for control of leaf hopper thrips and whiteflies, some of the chemicals has been recommended: methyl parathion, methyl demeton, phospholan. So here it is a 0.05% is recommended. And the neem seed kernel extract 4%. It is also a damage controlling liquid. Spray the chemical with the triazophos at 2 ml per 2.5 ml per liter of water, or go with the methyl parathion 50 EC 1 ml per liter of water. Dust 2% methyl parathion or 10 to 15 kg per hectare. Spray the crop with the quinalpas at 2 ml per liter of water, or chlorpyrifos 2 ml of water. So next pest, it is insect pest of safflower. The safflower caterpillar, it will defoliate the crop and damage the young capsules. So capsule, it is the economic part of safflower, it is got damaged. And next one is gram caterpillar, Helicoverba pellitigera or Helicoverba armigera. Two species are there. It will feed on the leaf and also bore on the flower head, and it will devour the developing seeds. And stem fly, Agromycete fly, the maggot which will bore into the stem and griddle the plant. It is a dipteran family, no? Next one is safflower aphid. Safflower aphid, the nymph and adults are found in large number and suck the sap from the leaf, shoot, flower, and capsule, and it will affect the plant which remains stunted. And safflower bud, it is a safflower butterfly. Here in butterfly, it a newly hatched larvae will feed on the soft part of the capsule. Next, it is cotton bollworm, Helicoverba armigera. The caterpillar will feed on the leaf, and it will also feed on the flower florets, bracts, and bores into the capsule and feed on the seeds. Tobacco cutworms, Podoptera lativera, the caterpillar will feed on the leaf, thus it will defoliate the plant completely. IPM practice in safflower, the culture practice, intercropping with a non-host crop like wheat, barley, avoid chickpea as a intercrop. Excessive application of nitrogen should be avoided. Avoid late sowing. Maintain 2 or 3 rows of maize and sorghum around the field as a trap crop. Mechanical practice. Early removal and destruction of infected buds is highly helpful in checking the spread of the pest. Biological control. Release of Chrysoperla eggs per grub at 1 to 2 per plant to encourage the natural enemy like a larval parasite. Spray the crop with the Helicoverba armigera NPV at 250 to 300 larval equivalent for control of Helicoverba armigera, and also conserve the natural enemy parasite like a Campoletus chloridae or a Enicophilus species. And coming to the chemical control, spraying of methyl parathion at 0.05% or fenvalerate 20 EC 250 ml per hectare, or spray the crop with a dimethoate or oxydimethyl or oxydimeton methyl at 1 ml per liter of water. Next, the insect pest of sesamum, till leaf and the pod caterpillar. So here, till leaf and pod caterpillar, the young larvae, it will web together, and at the top it mostly web together. Inside the leaf, this larvae will be present and feeding on them. Sesamum gallfly. So here the maggot which feed inside the floral pod and cause a malformation of the buds. Next one is safflower bud fly. So here the maggot will feed inside the floral part, and linseed gallfly, it is a Dianora linea. Here the maggot will feed inside the floral parts. Next one is Capitalium head borer, Helicoverpa. So important pest of this crop. Larvae will feed voraciously on capsule, and the safflower aphid, nymph, and the adults suck the sap from the plant. So as a safflower, this pest is continuing. And till hawk moth. Till hawk moth, this is one of a big butterfly. The larvae will feed voraciously on leaves and defoliate the plant. So IPM practice in Sasamam. So Sasamam in cultural practice, early sown, that is sowing in the first week of July. The Kharif crops season, it is very lessly infected to the late sown crop. An intercrop with the mung bean, pearl millet and groundnut. Deep ploughing expose the pupae for predation to insect which is voraciously feed like a voracious feeders like birds. Mechanical practice clip the gall, pick and burn the shade buds. Hand picking of larvae in its initial stage of attack and destroy them. Biological control conserve the larval parasite of gallfly like Ureotoma, dentipectus, and Brachyhepta, etc. And chemical control the spray crop at the bud initiation stage, dimethoate 0.03%, 2 round of dusting with the phospholan 4%. So it is sprayed at 30 days after sowing, and second at 45 days after sowing. Two spraying of quinolpa 0.05% at 30 45 days after sowing. Two round of dusting with the phosphol and 4% at 30 and 45 days after sowing. Next, it is insect pest of castor. So here, this insect pest of castor, mostly the caterpillar is causing a damage. So inside the first one is castor shoot and capsule borer, castor hairy caterpillar, castor slug caterpillar. All these larvae will bore into the terminal shoot of a capsule, and it can see the borehole symptoms, and we can see the leaf whiting symptom in the leaf and midribs and in the veins of a castor plant. Next one is castor semilooper. Here also the larvae will bore the stem and vein, and then the tobacco caterpillar Spodoptera letura, it will neonate the larvae, and the newly hatched larvae are gregarious, where they will scrape out the green matters in the leaf, which leaves the epidermis alone. Next one is red-headed caterpillar. So it is, you can see mostly in some kind of trees also. So it is a highly hairy caterpillar. So the young larvae will feed gregariously on the undersurface of a leaf, and the early instar the skeletonized the leaf gregariously, feed on the leaf and cause the loss by the way of defoliation. Next one is castor woolly bear, castor butterfly, and American serpentine leaf miner. So these three are some minor pests where the castor woolly bear, it the larvae will bore the stem and leaf. Castor butterflies, here also the larvae will feed on the leaves and remains on the upper surface, which will cause sometimes the defoliation of plant can be seen. And in the American serpentine leaf miner, it will feed the mesophyll tissue, which will by present inside the epidermis of the leaf. This will just scrap, and you can see the whitish line on the surface of the leaf. So sucking pest of castor, leafhopper, thrips, whitefly. So these Epomasca flavulans, Scriptothips dorsalis, and the whitefly Triadoresin. So these are the important sucking pests. Both the nymph and adults suck the sap from the leaf. Because of this, leafhopper hopper brown symptoms can be seen. That means the field will be turned as a brownish color or burnt symptom. In thrips, it will just scrap the leaf parts, and in white fly we can see the yellowish spot on the leaf. So IPM practice in castor. So here it the control measure, first one is cultural thing. So it will avoid growing of varieties which is having the compact flowerance like a sunflower. And mechanical practice, the mechanical collection and destruction of attacked shoot can be removed, and provide the bird perching point. So bird perching point 7 to 10 per hectare can be invite the birds, by that the larval population can be reduced, and picking up of larvae during the early stage and destroy them. Biological control, um, using the hymenopteran parasitoids for attacking the pest during the various stages of the life cycle. So if it is a egg parasite means trichoderma, larval parasite means aphytella species or a micropellet species. So here the next one is chemical control. So the last method for last IPM practice, initiate the chemical spray at the time of flowering time, and even in a primary spiking time also we can go, and spray with the methyl parathion 50 EC at 1 ml per liter of water can be mixed and sprayed. Dust with the methyl parathion 2% dust at 10 kg per hectare per acre it is recommended. Quinalpas 2 ml per liter of water is recommended. Dimethoate 2 ml per liter of water is recommended. So this is a pest of castor and their management. So these are all the pest of oil seeds, their important pest and their management. Basically, IPM it is one of the important thing where we have to integrate the all pest management in one thing. Thank you.